Alright everyone, hello and welcome back to the channel. Alright, now I'm gonna take a good guess that by now everyone has heard that News Now Houston, aka Earl Worden, was found guilty and sentenced to 20 years. 20 years! That's nothing to laugh about. This guy is in his middle 50s, early 60s, and think about it, no parole. You got to do the straight up 20, and shit, if he makes the 20, he'll be 80 when he gets out, and I don't think a lot of people that do 20 years when they it's like they become institutionalized. They don't even want to come out after that, and listen, I just hate to think about it. Not to make this video about me, but in my younger days, I done the dumb shit that I ended up doing 2 years. I did 2 years in Rikers Island, and I'm not proud of it, but it always, I keep it in the back of my head. That's what keeps me legit, let's say. I know what it's like to do time, and let's just say anybody who's been locked up, when you go into jail, whether you realize it or not, people are going to test you. You guys, listen, I'm not just saying this to say it. People are going to test you. If you are soft, a bitch, or a punk, you end up as somebody's bitch, okay? From the minute you get in, you're showing yourself whether you're going to fight, you're going to, stand up for yourself, and let's just say, I'm not trying to make myself look like the badass, but I did what I had to do. My father did not raise no punk, that's for sure. But again, not to make the video about me, I'm just saying, 20 years, I don't know if I could handle 20 years, guys. 20 years is a long time. But hey, he brought that shit upon himself, okay? And the frauding career didn't really, I think this is all to do with touching his kids. And let me just say, guys, because for those of you that have been watching frauding for years, in the very beginning when, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, I used to support these guys. I honestly thought these guys were out there fighting for the people. And Earl Worden was the individual that I was hooked on. I watched his videos loyalty, or whatever. I honestly thought he was out. He was holding police accountable. You'd see him going after the FBI. I even think he dabbled with the CIA. Okay, never did I see him go into a city hall. He never screwed with the public employees. It was basically law enforcement. And as we all know, there are bad cops out there, okay? There are cops out there that are abusing their power and need to be weeded out and kicked off the force, okay? But that's what I say with these guys. A lot of these guys, they don't give, when they come into contact with police, they don't give that officer an opportunity to show if he's a good cop or a bad cop. They just go right from the beginning of their interaction. They consider the cop as being a piece of shit and start talking and treating them like a piece of shit, and which is why I started doing what I'm doing. And to sound, let me show you how dumb I was, right? Real quick story. I honestly thought in the beginning when I was watching the Asoma was the one that opened my eyes to the crookedness. I saw like maybe 3 or 4 of his videos, and I said, oh shit. These guys are not out there fighting for nobody's rights. They are the ones causing the problems. And again, if you watch 3 to 4 of his videos, that's why a lot of the people that support these assholes, they know what these guys are doing, but they themselves, they hate government, they hate our law enforcement officers, they choose to support them, even knowing that these guys are crooked, that they're not fighting for nobody's rights, they're doing this shit all in the name of making a day's pay. But they will support them because, again, I say, the subscribers themselves hate our government, they hate our law enforcement officers. They support these guys because these guys are willing to go out there and throw throw the jabs physically on their behalf. So again, like, let me tell you how naive I was. I said in the beginning when I opened my eyes with Anselmo, I said, shit, let me just show a video or two. I got a video of Anselmo. He blurted out that he wasn't doing this for the Constitution. He was doing it for the almighty dollar. Okay, he blurted it out. Okay, and then I thought if I showed people, I said, damn it, once people see this, they'll know that this shit is not, some of these guys are fake. They're bullshitting. But over a period of time, come to find out, there is a market for this shit. There are people out there that just, like I said before, they hate our government, they hate law enforcement, and they will support these guys knowing that they're not out there fighting for our rights or standing up for the Constitution, but they will still support them. And this guy right here was like one of the originals. Damn, this guy's been frauditing for years, man. Like good 15, 20 years, okay? I know that might be wrong, but again, he's been doing this shit a long time. I might be wrong with the years, the 15, 20 years. But I'm just saying, this guy's been around frauditing. He's been doing this shit quite a long time. Anyway, again, I was checking up on his channel here and there every so often, and he pretty much thought he had this in the bag, that he was going to come out scot clean. Okay, and let me show you a video he made just a few days ago. I honestly, the way he was talking, he felt he was gonna be found innocent. But let's check out the video and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Good morning. Can you believe it? I'm up this early. I don't believe it. This is like 2 days in a row I've been up this early, and I am not a happy camper. But it is what it is. So some of you were curious about what occurred yesterday. We were in the, hold on a second, turn that stereo down. We were in the midst of jury selection when one of the cult troll members, who comes to court frequently and has previously tried to run me down with a car. It's the guy that took the license plates off his car, turned up at that event looking for me. Hey, WTT. Anyhow, so he was warned by the judge. The judge has a list of people that have said that they're going to tamper with the jury. I think that their goal ultimately is just to cause a mistrial, just so this will drag out further, thinking that the DA will then, refile and we'll go through all this again. But the DA has said that should the idiots be the cause of a mistrial, that she will not be refiling. So if they keep screwing around, I will not get to have my jury trial, which is what I want. So he was warned, do not speak to anybody, all the potential jurors and stuff that are there. And at one point he was talking to one of the ladies, and the judge didn't say anything to him. And then just a few minutes later, he was all wrapped up in conversation with her, and the judge was like, nope, ain't happening. So she ejected him from the courtroom. Now, the sheriffs are in charge of courtroom security, and the constables, excuse me, handle courthouse security. So if it's in the hallway, hold on a second, I'll answer that. If it's in the hallway, the constables handle it. If it's in the actual courtroom, the sheriff's deputies handle it. So the sheriff's deputies ejected him from the courtroom, and they called the constables, and the constables were supposed to come up and escort him off the property. He's not supposed to be allowed back in. So that's what happened. Yes, this guy is one of the Manson Merb cult members. He has been all along, and I know that idiot Merb is, oh, I don't have anything to do with it. Don't have anything to do with it. And yet, if he was here, he'd be doing the same thing. He'd be up there trying to tamper with the jury because, hey, That's the kind of guy he is. Justice means nothing to these people. Truth means nothing to these people. All that means anything to them is getting their way. You know, and harassing people, putting their nose in where it doesn't belong. I've said all along that, you know, this has nothing. Wait a minute, never seen you in a tie before. I've said all along, this whole thing is a setup. And I can show that in court, and I'm going to. Not only am I going to show it in court, but those documents that prove it will be made public. So, you know, I'm just intolerant of the stupidity these people are injecting. You know, Teresa spends 3.5 hours to drive over here. I look like an attorney. I know I hate it. Let me tell you, I do not like ties. This is the worst thing about this whole experience is that I got to wear a freaking tie. Teresa drives 3.5 hours to come over here and sit in court for 5 minutes. She was in town a couple of days ago. I got her on video with some guy in the car driving around my place. They just don't give up. They don't go away. They're idiots. That's all they are, idiots. Worried about something that doesn't concern them. You know, I don't drive 3.5, 4 hours to go get in the middle of their family business, but you know, they want to be in here because, hey, I want to see David go to prison for a crime he didn't commit, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to tamper with the jury in hopes of sending me to prison for a crime I didn't commit. What kind of people do that? What kind of sick, depraved people would put an innocent man in prison or participate in it? I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. The cult leader, I wouldn't do it to him. I wouldn't do it to Teresa. I don't believe in it. And unlike, you know, these other fake activists that preach, don't believe the police, don't believe the DAs, you don't trust them, check the evidence for yourself. Oh, but David's guilty. Nah. I stand on my convictions because I am a true believer. The rest of these people, not so much. They're fakes. Mustang's in the shop, by the way. I wouldn't drive it down here anyway, but yeah, one of the windows quit working on it, so I had to put it in the shop. It's getting fixed. It's quick $800 to get it fixed. You know, that's the kind of stuff I spend my money on. Teresa's spent thousands of dollars pulling documents on me. Money she could be spending on her grandkids, she wastes on documents on me. Oh, I love it. Or gas to drive back and forth between Crowley and here. This is how stupid these people are. There's a whole bunch of people that are mad because they thought I was going to trial the last time, and then the DA did some shady stuff and reset, and they had booked non-refundable airfare, and so they lost their money trying to fly down here for a nothing trial. It's funny. It's absolutely funny. If it wasn't so sad. I'll be traveling again here pretty soon. I don't want to give too much information about that, but yes, I will be traveling again here pretty soon. But anyway, I'm gonna get going, guys. I was just pop in here for a minute, and while I'm sitting here bored. At what point do the feds get involved? The feds are part of this. The documents, the documents that we got from this last DA at the last minute that were subpoenaed and delivered to the DA 3 years ago, and they just now giving them to us. This was not just Deer Park and Shell. Now I realize it's Harris County Sheriff's Department's involved. Houston Police Department's involved. The Houston Police Officers Union is involved. FBI is involved. DPS, the state police, are involved. It's ridiculous. The amount of effort they put into nothing. Nothing. Just, and there's one of them in there that says he is making it his mission in life to put me in prison for something. He's going to find something to put me in prison for. How's that for policing in America today? What does that say about corruption in policing? Because I did what? I openly criticized the police. And that is a crime now. The police unions have labeled that a crime. And that's not acceptable. If they think that this is going to shut me up, has it slowed me down? Absolutely, it slowed me down. But if they think this is going to shut me up, they're wrong. I'm going to be 10 times worse when I start working again than I've ever been before. I promise you. They are really, really, really going to catch it. And this time, I've had 4 years to sit around while I've been waiting on this trial. Stop stealing, trolls. I've had 4 years to sit around and make connections. Connections in the legislature. Connections, well, let's leave it at that. So I am much better prepared now for the work I need to do than I've ever been before. We're going to go after police unions. We're going to go after qualified immunity. We're going to go after the immunity that district attorneys have. For those of you that don't know it, it's almost impossible to sue a district attorney. Not impossible, and judges too, because they have immunity. So we're saying that, okay, you can't sue this DA if they do something wrong. We're going to trust the DA to do the right thing. That should tell you there's a problem right there. And who came up with that brilliant idea? Lawyers, DAs, judges. So when they do wrong, how do we target them to make sure that they don't do wrong again? We're entrusting them to do the right thing, and we already know how that works out. It doesn't. So anyway, guys, I got to get running. I want to beat the lines. You have to go through like a TSA checkpoint to get into the courthouses here. It's ridiculous. But so I'm going to get going. But I'll post some updates a little bit later in the day or something in the community tab, because usually by the time I'm done with this mess, I just want to go get a nap somewhere. So that's it. Y'all have a great day. I will see you again soon. And be safe, and always, always, always record the crooked.
All right, well, there you go. Now tell me, doesn't it sound like he felt that he had the case won? It truly sounds to me like he felt he was winning the case. He was going to win the case. That or a mistrial, but even a mistrial, you could call it a win. Anyway, check out the video that the frog did on him. And that's how I got my information, through the frog. This is a channel that was very informative. If you guys are not subscribed to this guy's channel, I think you should subscribe. Trust me, you'll get some good information before anybody else gets it. He gets it first. Let's check out his video.
Now, as you know, I quite like to do short videos telling facts. I have had two independent sources, tell me details that Earl has actually been sentenced. He decided to revoke his motion to get the jury to decide his sentence, and it all happened very quickly. He was sentenced to 20 years with no parole, apparently. There is nothing on the court record at present, so this is a PK exclusive, as I say, from two independent sources. It's obviously a reason you should subscribe to The Frog, because it's where you get the news quickly and succinctly. Thanks for watching.